Okay, so some conflicts with teamwork. The beginning of conflict usually starts with poor communication, people seeking power over one another, dissatisfaction with management, weak leadership, and or change in leadership. So conflict continued here. Okay, so conflict continued here. Indication of conflict, one to know there's a problem. Starts with disagreements, withholding of bad news, desire for power, people not respecting one another, lack of clear goals, and too much competition can stray teams away from the common goal. So how to deal and avoid conflict. So meet it head on. When you know there's a problem, deal with it. Communicate frequently, be honest with one another, sometimes agreeing to disagree. Discuss differences in values and communicate honestly with one another, and use conflict as a creative force. Better ideas come through creative competition. So this is Tuckman's teamwork theory. He was a doctor. He came up with this 4-step theory on teamwork. So the first step of the theory is forming, and it's the initial stage when the team comes together and assembles, and this is the initial stage where the team members begin to search for the position within the group. The next step of the teamwork theory is storming, and this is where people begin to see themselves as a part of a team. They develop ideas with one another and deal with criticism, and it's usually the most difficult stage for a group due to conflict and confrontation with one another. So then the third step of the theory is norming, and this is the phase where the team starts to come together as one and begin to gel, and everyone has their own part, and they're starting to establish how things are going to be done, and this is where they start to focus on the work and actually make some progress. And the last stage is performing, and this is where the team begins to work effectively together, becoming one, and members begin to accomplish a lot and get closer to the final goal. And that's Tuckman's theory on teamwork. So here are some key teamwork skills, some interpersonal skills: trust and acceptance, effective communication, collaborative problem solving, conflict resolution, and ability to deal with constructive criticism. Some more teamwork skills on the more self and project management side of things: goal setting, planning, coordinating tasks, performance management, risk management, and leadership, which is obviously very important. So benefits of teamwork in the workplace, why it's beneficial. It fosters creativity and learning, increases efficiency, builds trust, it's a learning experience, you share the workload with one another, and it teaches conflict resolution skills. So using teamwork in real-life work environments. Obviously, we're going to be working in teams throughout our professional careers. So some things you may be doing in teams: brainstorm meetings, group projects and presentations, mentoring other colleagues, event planning, stuff like that. So new ways of using teams. As technology advances, distance is becoming less of a barrier. So people can communicate virtually through either teleconferences, web conferences, and Skype calls. So teams no longer have to meet in person. It can be virtually now. So here's some teamwork interview questions. While interviewing, you're definitely going to be asked questions on teamwork. So here are 2 examples. Give an example of a project you were a part of. What was your role? And the second one, have you been a member of a team that struggled to reach its goal? So here are some teamwork quotes on some pretty successful dudes. One by Henry Ford and one by Vincent Lombardi. Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, working together is success. And then Vincent Lombardi, Individual commitment to a group effort, that's what makes a team work, a company work, a society work, a civilization work. All right, so in summary, I talked to you guys about characteristics of teamwork, teamwork conflict, Tuckman's teamwork theory, key teamwork skills, new ways to use teams, some benefits of teamwork, some interview questions, and teamwork in the real life work environment. So up next, Megan is going to be talking to you guys about job satisfaction.
You should memorize Tuckman's theory.
Alright, so as Jake said, I'm going to be talking about job satisfaction and how job satisfaction is related to performance and motivation. So to get started, what is job satisfaction? It is the amount of contentment an employee feels towards their workplace. I'll be going over the links between performance and motivation and job satisfaction. So without job satisfaction, you wouldn't be motivated to do your work. You wouldn't be motivated to perform well with your work. So I'm going to be going over commitment, how committed someone is, the varied approaches someone takes while they work, feelings of worth in their workplace, and how optimistic a person is while they're on the job. So the first link is commitment. So employee commitment is determined by the amount of satisfaction and motivation someone has within their job, and motivation and satisfaction and performance is illustrated by the amount of commitment. So if an employee is completely committed to their job, then they're committed to everything. The second link is varied approaches. So when managers take different approaches to how they're going to approach their job and what they're going to do, then that keeps things interesting for the employees. Instead of doing the same routines every day, employees are doing something different. Sometimes managers will incorporate like challenges or contests. The third link is feelings of worth. So when an employee feels valuable to their company and important in their job, then they are more motivated to do their job and to perform well. And it really helps the employee's mental outlook and how they view their job when they feel valuable within their work. And the fourth link is optimism. So people who feel more optimistic at work are obviously more motivated, and when you radiate optimism and positivity, that catches on to other people, and they also become more optimistic as well when in the workplace, and it's always good for managers to remain optimistic too. So next I'm going to be talking about the motivation hygiene theory, or it's also called the two-factor theory by Frederick Hertzberg. So there's two different kinds of factors. We have the motivational factors, which are obviously the things that motivate people, and then we have hygiene factors, which are the factors that influence people to be satisfied. So motivational factors. Again, like I said, they influence how employees perform while they're at work. This includes challenging work, so any tasks that are like out of the box, harder for people to do. Employee recognition, when people are recognized by their managers, they're much more motivated to work better, and responsibility. And hygiene factors, they determine the level of satisfaction a person feels towards their jobs. These include pay and benefits, supervision, working conditions, jobs, and job security. So if anyone is not comfortable with any of these hygiene factors, then they will not be satisfied in their job. So if someone doesn't like the working conditions, then they will not be as satisfied as if they did. So there's four possible combinations of motivation and hygiene factors. So high motivation and high hygiene is obviously the ideal situation. That's when people are feeling really motivated and they have no complaints in regards to their work. And then low motivation and low hygiene is the worst possible scenario. That's when people have no motivation whatsoever and a lot of complaints. So what is job dissatisfaction? That is when people don't enjoy their work necessarily. They feel anger towards their job, despair, depression, resentment. It makes people want to get up and leave, quit their job, find a new one. So dissatisfaction is a major problem in the U.S. So causes of job dissatisfaction, bad management. If managers are unfair or treat people badly, then employees will not be happy. And unpleasant coworkers, if you don't enjoy the people you work with, you won't be motivated to work, you won't enjoy going to work, and you'll perform poorly. Another cause is job insecurity. If you do not feel comfortable in your job and you're unsure what could happen, where you'll go, if you'll move up or you'll get bumped down, then that definitely causes dissatisfaction. And poor communication. If managers do not communicate well what your objectives are, then the employees are often frustrated or confused, and that also reduces their motivation. So what happens if someone is dissatisfied? Obviously, they'll have no motivation and their performance will be down. People will not want to do their work. They'll get things in late. They won't do it efficiently. They might not even do it at all. And again, the performance will be bad. It won't be nearly as high as the potential as they could do if they were satisfied. So how to improve job satisfaction? Managers should ask about personal motivators of each employee. When managers incorporate these motivators for the employees, then they will be more motivated to do their job. And you should also reduce ineffective management. Again, bad managers who treat people unfairly or treat people badly is never a good motivator. Another one is improve the work environment. When you enjoy your work environment, you enjoy the people you're around, it's good conditions, everything's working fine, that's when job satisfaction increases rather than if things were broken. Another one is improve communication across all levels to not have the chances of people being confused or frustrated while at work. Another one is to create employee recognition programs. When employees feel recognized and appreciated for their work and it gets displayed, then that makes their satisfaction levels increase. And also to reduce stress in the workplace. A lot of people feel stressed while at work, so if you reduce that, then their satisfaction will go up, they'll feel more motivated. So in sum, job satisfaction, performance, and motivation, they're all tied together. You need one to have the other. You need to be satisfied in order to be motivated, and in order to perform to your highest potential. So if you have bad motivation, again, performance will be bad and job satisfaction will be low. And vice versa if you had good motivation. So for my personal experience, I'm a waitress at PJ Wellahans, and I love it there. My managers are really great. They give us challenges and contests between all the servers, and if someone wins, we get to pick our section or get free food. They bring us donuts, so they always keep us motivated, and I'm very satisfied at my job. So thank you guys for listening to me. I hope you learned something. Coming up next is Bree with achievement and goal setting.
Hi, I'm Bree, and I'm going to talk about achievement and goal setting. Achievement and goal setting. It's necessary in all businesses, and it's important for human resources management because if you don't set goals for your workers, then what are they working for? It promotes positivity in the workplace, and like Megan was talking about, incentives are always a good thing. Encouraging achievement in the workplace. It's good for managers to set and reach their goals. It's good for them to let their employees participate in decision making. It's important for them to give responsibilities to their employees and to recognize their employees. An aptitude test measures how well a candidate can do something, so like specific tasks in the workplace. Basically like what the job entails, so like if you're trying to get a job at Walmart, are you good at working with a register? Are you good at talking to customers? Are you good at answering the phone? Just like things like that. An achievement test measures what the candidate already knows, so like previous job experience, things learned at another job. Are you going to a similar job? So like if you have a job in HR already, are you going to another job in HR, and like what do you know about your previous job in HR? This is one way to think of goal setting. It's called the SMART way. It entails choosing a specific goal, making sure the goal is measurable, making sure the goal is attainable and relevant to your work, and making sure you can reach your goal in a timely manner. It's important to set clear goals because without a clear goal, it's not really a good goal. So to set a clear goal, you should think about, does the goal you are setting promote goals you've set for the organization as a whole? Do your goals promote goals that you've set up for the team as a whole? Is your goal difficult but attainable? Short-term goals are usually the foundational and provisional goals. Some examples are to make it to work on time, manage your time at work, get things done that you're supposed to be getting done, and having a positive attitude in the workplace. some midterm goals include learning as many skills as possible and forming relationships with coworkers. If you go into work and you just do the bare